Today I'm in Mukono at Maria local poultry farm with Miss Maria.
Since my childhood, I used to rear chicks at home. Like on Christmas, they couldn't go to the market to buy chicks.
She left Dubai to turn her childhood passion into a thriving poultry business.
In 2019, I went to Dubai. I got a nanny job. I got a South African family, such a good family.
Her story of starting small and dreaming big, I know will inspire you.
I started going to the YouTube to look for the farmers who are into poultry. Even if I'm at work, I would open and see the video because my work wasn't too tight.
Your birds look healthy. How about these ones? Why are they not with?
Those ones are brothers to these ones. The other ones, I saw them during Christmas season. Yeah, I got some money.
How much were you selling like each?
25.
You know, recently I've been profiling like successful poultry farmers with large operations, but then again, deep inside me, I felt like maybe there's something I'm not doing right. For now, I'm concentrating on startups, young farmers who are just starting up their farms. Miss Maria, you're welcome to my channel.
Thank you very much.
So there's something I want us to talk about. Do you think poultry farming is the way to go for most women and some young ladies?
Me, I got tired of working for other people. Yeah, that's why I started this, because I want to be self-employed and I wanted to be independent. I did not want to ask money from maybe husband, boyfriends. So that's why I wanted to start my own business. When I need money, I can get my money as I need it.
So tell us about your journey to Dubai. How was it? How is Dubai generally?
By the time I went there, everything was okay. But now things changed, jobs are scarce. In 2019, I got a job as a cashier. So I worked there like for, let me say, 4 years. Then afterwards, things were not moving well because of COVID. So I changed that job, made my own visa, and then I started looking for another job. I did many jobs. I went to security, after security, because it was season.
What do you mean season?
On ceremonies, mostly ceremonies start around like October to December. Then that's why I say it was season. So after that, I got a nanny job. I got a family, a South African family. It was such a good family. So I worked with them for like 1 year and 8 months. I lost the job. They relocated and I couldn't go with them. So I had to stay or come back home.
What did you choose?
I decided to come back home because my visa had remained with 4 months.
Why didn't you choose to renew it?
I was tired. I was exhausted. Instead of wasting money, paying the rent, eating, yet I don't know whether I'll get the job, let me just go home. I wanted to start a poultry farm, which I researched for on YouTube for some good time. Then I was like, let me go home.
Look at these amazing birds. They look amazing, by the way. Most birds actually, mostly laying birds, they're smaller in size, but this one's a bit, I don't know if you're able to see them, they're a bit bigger in size. Let's go back a bit. You said you had made up your mind to do poultry farming. How did you come to the conclusion that I want to do poultry farming?
I had many businesses in my mind. As I was moving on YouTube, there are so many businesses, business ideas. So the first business I wanted to do spare because I have some relatives, friends who are into that business and they are successful. But when I calculated, it needed a lot of money. So that one I cancelled it. But since my childhood, I used to rear chicks at home. Like on Christmas, they couldn't go to the market to buy chicks because I had chicks at home.
Yours?
They would
Were they giving you money or they were just taking?
They are just taking, they are not giving me money. So I had that passion since childhood. So I started going to the YouTube to look for the farmers who are into poultry. Even if I'm at work, I would open and see the video because my work wasn't too tight. I could use my phone as I'm working. That's why I decided to enter into poultry.
I'm imagining you had not come back yet. That idea was already in the mind, it has solidified. Now, what was the first step that you took before?
The first step that I took, of course, when you want to start poultry, you have to be with a structure where those birds are going to be kept. Good enough, I had my rentals, and those rentals, some were on foundation, so I just lift the foundation a bit, then I constructed a penny house for my birds.
How much did it cost you to construct this, and what's its capacity?
It can contain 400 birds.
How much can it cost?
It's like 4M. In the width we have 17 feet, and in the length we have 28 feet. It's supposed to be 4 feet from the ground. Only that I fear thieves. That's why I...
The area is not safe.
Yeah, the area is not that safe. That's why I added more, like 2 feet up. It's like 5.5 feet, something like that to 6.
So how many birds did you start with?
Yeah, I started with 400.
Do you own this land? Do you rent it? Is it for your parents?
No, I own this land. Yeah, I own this place. It's my place. I don't rent. My plan was, they are rentals. Time came when I'm exhausted. I want to come back home. But the man I had couldn't lift all this. So I decided to first start a business, a poultry business. Then from there I can get money which can build the rentals, and I finished them. And I may get money and buy another land where I can transfer my farm. Then I leave this for the rentals.
So the structure is complete. Had you decided on what type of birds you're going to raise, and how did you come to that decision?
Actually, I wanted local birds. They are disease resistant, and you can give them some local medicine.
You know, I can't imagine them being in this floor like this. When it comes to broilers, you can't keep them in this kind of environment and they'll survive. So they are disease resistant. So start with these ones and you learn on the job. Maybe later you can scale up to maybe layers.
Feeds are less compared to the broilers and other, yeah.
They don't eat a lot.
They don't eat a lot.
I just love the fact that you give them food twice a day. Oh my God.
You can get greens, chop them, mix in the food, then you can give them. For example, if you're giving your chicks like 10 kg a day, maybe you have these banana peelings, like 2 kg, then you reduce, then you give like 8 kgs, then you add the banana peelings, you give them. So these are greens. This is sele in Uganda. I don't know how it's called in English.
Blackerjack?
When your birds are laying, greens are good for them because greens help us to give us the yellow yolk that we are looking for. Remember, in local eggs, people are looking for yellow yolk. That's what makes it to be expensive.
And has it worked well for you? Like, have you faced any challenges with them?
The challenge I faced was 1 month. They got some gombolo, and I lost over 32 birds.
Ooh, the pain.
But I did not lose hope. Another challenge, it was food prices. Prices were high.
Speaking of which, I know it's one of the most challenging things for most farmers. How have you prepared for the feed?
For the feeds, where I buy feeds, there is a store. So if the feeds are on a less price, I make sure that I buy something like half a tani. If I have money, half a tani, then I keep the where I grind. Grind where I grind the food from? Yeah, on the milling machine, there is a store. You keep there your food, then the one you're having at home, when it's get done, you go there and then you get another one, yeah.
So how do you care for your laying birds? And they started laying at what month?
My birds started laying at 4 months and 1 week.
Is that too early or too late?
That's too early, I think, because they told us when you feed them well, 4 months and 2 weeks,
they'll start.
Yeah, they'll start laying.
How was your experience when you saw your first egg?
As usual, when I wake up in the morning, I pass through my birds in the morning. So as I was coming, I saw an egg. So I was very, very happy to see that, because all farmers, they are waiting for that time.
So on average, they lay like how many eggs a day, like right as we speak?
They have just started. They started last week. They started with 2, they added 2, like 4, 8, 10, but yesterday I picked 15.
Wow. And where do you plan to sell your eggs?
I'm planning to go to supermarkets, organizations. That's where I'm planning to sell my eggs.
If I were to start poultry farming in 2025, I would actually choose this breed because you see, they are laying at 4 months. She has already sold off the male one. So what do you think? Is it the local birds or is it the broilers? Some people say broilers offer good training, but tell me what you think in the comment section below.
Do not enter into local poultry when you don't have money. don't purchase birds, too much birds when you don't have money. Please and please, I know what I'm saying. Take what you can manage because birds eat. The fact is, birds eat. Birds do eat. So get what you can manage. Because at the end of the day, you may reach like 2 months, you're selling out the birds because you wanted too much, but you couldn't manage to feed them. So please take the number that you. These are laying boxes for our birds. This is where they lay eggs from. As you can see,
There's an egg here.
there is an egg there.
Ooh, guys, look at this. They're still smaller, eh?
Yeah, because they are just starting.
And how much did it cost you to construct these laying boxes?
I think it was something like 160.
At what point did you put them in? Do you put them in the beginning or sometime later?
You have to place these laying boxes at like 4 months so that they can get used to them. When they start laying, they don't drop eggs everywhere. They are used to the laying boxes.
When you're constructing a structure, what do you consider?
You have to build 4 feet from the ground. Then after you need aeration. That's why you have to put the wire meshes because you need aeration. Birds need aeration.
If someone is out there and they want to start local poultry farming, what are some of the tips that you can give them? Like so far, according to your experience, I know you're not so old in the industry, but so far.
What I can tell them is that it's very important to have your own space. Because when you say that you're going to maybe to rent somewhere, you may lose it. Because someone where you're renting may see that you're working. So he or she may tell you, I need my place. So you don't have the place to go to. That's why I'm saying it's better you have your own what? Your own space. Then you need a structure. You need the requirements like the feeders, the drinkers. You have to be prepared. You need to be having the money for the feeds, all of that. So don't just start because you've had someone's interview. Then you just come in, you want to start. Please be prepared enough, then you start. Don't just fall into something. And another thing, you have to go and take the trainings. It's very important to be trained. Don't just come and say that I want to start local poultry farm when you've not been trained. Training is very, very vital. As you know, in Uganda, most of the girls who are abroad, they did not go because they want to go. Some of them, they left Uganda to look for greener pastures because here in Uganda, as you know, jobs are not there. So this is where they are not going to ask for certificate. That give me a certificate, then you enter poultry farming. Here, you just need a training for 1 day. They teach you what to do. As long as you have the capital, then you invest in the project. But you should also like what you're doing. Don't just come into poultry because you've seen someone is successful, because you want money. You have to love what you're going to start. Yeah, you cannot do something that you don't want. My sister sent me to school for hairdressing school, but I did not like it. And I told them I will not do it because I don't have passion for it.
Is that why you decided to go abroad?
No, it's not that, but the situation wasn't good. And I'm a person who grew up without parents. So in my mind, I was like, no one is going to give me bread. So I have to work for myself. I have to go and look for money so that I don't stay in the same situation that I grew up in. I want to be a successful person. That's why I started to work when I'm still young.
Wow, such a successful and inspirational story from Miss Maria.
One word for them. I want to encourage everyone who want to start a poultry business. Please, no one should put fear in you. As long as you have money, you can start a poultry business. And don't start with with many birds. Start with what you can manage. Yeah, it's good to start with what you can manage, but you can start with any number that you can manage. Another thing, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, Maria Local Poultry Farm Mukono, my TikTok, Maria Local Poultry Farm Mukono. Please come and support me. Very soon, I'll start producing. Yeah, I'll start hatching. Yeah.
And that's a wrap on. Thank you so much for sticking by. See you in the next video.